Hey, how you doing? This is John and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm recording this on Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everybody. And this is kind of a special, very special episode of John's Long Box because this Heroineburgh comic was sent to me by a viewer. They commented a few times in the comment section, and then we traded. She sent email to me, and we corresponded, and then they ended up sending me these two comics in the mail, and also a thumb drive of comics and superhero files from their Heroineburgh. So that's full disclosure. I just want you to know I didn't pay for this. This is the very first thing somebody's ever sent me through my my YouTube channel. So thank you. It's my Christmas present from Heroineburgh Comics. I also thought I would like to full disclose that I can't stand cosplay. I for the most part, I see people doing cosplay, and it's attention grabbing people who don't read comics. So, but I will say these people got past my displeasure of cosplay, and I'll explain that after I talk about everything. So I just wanted you guys to know my prejudices. I got this for free, sent to me by a viewer, and I just don't really like cosplay. So I just wanted all of my prejudices out and about at front, so you could take everything I say with a grain of salt. So first off, these are the two comics. I'm only gonna showcase one of them, but these are the two comics, and nice quality paper. There's no price on this. This is 2019 Heroineburgh Comics. What is this? Right, 2019. And here we go. All right, so let's check it out. We'll talk about it as we go along. So, Heroineburgh, I got to pull out. Okay, it takes place in a universe where a southwestern PA metropolis is renowned for more than just pirates, penguins, and pierogies. It's the global epicenter of superheroes. So I read all this. So this is kind of fun. From what I know, and I'm sure Heroineburgh will comment in the comment section to correct me on anything that I get wrong. From what I know, this is a group of people who get together and they do basically like LARPing, live action role playing, and the premise is there was like a cosmic incident, and only women, you have to have an XX gene, only women got superpowers, and a bunch of them became superheroes, and like in the real world, unfortunately not everybody's good, and a bunch of them became supervillains. So I assume it's like local friends. I don't know their relationships, but a group of buddies all got together and they make these movies. And you could go to heroineburgh.com and check it out. Here we go. Here's a plug. heroineburgh.com, which is Pittsburgh. Facebook, that's their Facebook group. Twitter, and DeviantArt, YouTube channel, Heroineburgh. And I watched a few of their videos on YouTube. Contact them. So here's all the contact information. And as far as I know, I didn't do a super deep dive. These are all friends. They get together and they film each other. They write out scripts and they act stuff. So that's why they bypassed my dislike of cosplay. For the most part, cosplay is these people who, that whatever, they're trying to further a modeling career, whatever. They're not interested in comics. Whenever I see somebody cosplaying, I don't say it to them because I'm polite. I always want to say to them, you want to impress me? I don't want to see your cleavage. I want to see your comic book collection. Show me a picture of all your long boxes filled with comics. That will impress me. Then you've earned the right to dress up as Catwoman. But when you've never bought a comic book and you're putting on your sexy Catwoman outfit and you want attention, I'm sorry. It doesn't help the comic book industry. It doesn't help comic book fans, and I don't know. I feel it kind of detracts, especially now the comic books are cool. You're just cashing in on cool. In the 80s, you'd be dressing up as a cheerleader. You don't have a love of comic book. These people, let me make that absolutely clear. From everything I know about them, they seem to really like comic books and superheroes and everything. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing all this effort. They seem to be doing the work. They're doing the homework. And I don't know if this is their real names or if this is their character, but Arcana, this secret identity. I could be here for a year and a half. So, but like Arcana, great name. Arctica, Sabrina, Etheria, great name. Lunessa, Spectrina, Ex Machina, I like that name. And these are the bad guys. Dysphoria, that is such a cool name. Mesmera, Serpenta, and Vapora. Okay, and so these guys are the heroes, and these are the villains. And there's more, but that's just this particular comic. So here we have the splash page. This paper is really high quality paper. I just wanted to point that out. Oh, let's look at the credits. I'm jumping around. I'm sorry. I had a lot of coffee today. It's Christmas. My wife, oh man, she made, let me just point this out. My wife made too much lasagna. Okay? Too much lasagna. So somebody come on over and let's eat some lasagna. So when you eat too much lasagna, you get lethargic. So I've had too much coffee. Okay, so thank you. All right. So Manny Thena, creator, writer, and editor. And I never met any of these people. I don't know any of these people. But to tell you the truth, I don't even know the name of the person who corresponded with me. Could be any one of these people. I have no idea who it is. Benjamin Zeus Barnett, artist and letterer. Jason Wright, front cover and character art. Marcel Walker, back cover pinup. And there's two stories, The Cathedral of Shadows and Pick on Somebody Your Own Size. And this is the indicia. Heroine Comics #1, 2019, Heroineburgh. And there's no price on this. I honestly do not know how to get this comic. This was sent to me. I want to stress that out. This was sent to me free by a viewer. And it was the very first time it happened. So, of course, I'm going to showcase it. You know, why not? And also, again, I didn't do a deep dive. I think this group of people, they have something to do with FemForce, a comic that's still in publication. I didn't realize it was still being published. But I think I have the first 10 issues of FemForce. That came out years ago. I don't remember the exact year. And it's still in public. I had no clue. And the funny thing is, I was just reading a lot of AC comics lately. I don't know why. I just got on an AC Comics kick like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then Heroineburgh is somehow connected with AC Comics. So, you know, it's just weird the way coincidences work, right? So anyway, let's get back to the comic. I'm jumping around because I'm on a caffeine high. So here we have the splash page, and a splash page is usually, but not always, the first page in a comic, and it's usually of one full panel. So here we have this is Arcana. This is Arcana contemplating the nature of the universe over here. All right, just setting up the story. Okay, and here we have Mesmera, the bad guy. You know, I love Mesmera. She's a slob. I guess villains are messy people. No offense, and I feel bad saying anything like that because this is a real person who's a real character. So no offense to anybody. Okay, here's my first criticism of the comic. When I read this, typically the word balloons, you read them like you start here and you go down. So I went down and then I read this and then I jumped to this, because this, you see how it's like going through the so I read this and then I read this and then I read this and then I'm like, wait a minute, what about this? So it was a little disjointed. Okay, the storytelling is fine. You could take away all the word balloons and I could figure out the story. So the storytelling is fine, but it was just like a little weird thing that I was confused. I didn't know what panel, like the way the word balloons is set up, it led me to read this page out of order. What if you take out the word balloons, the art clearly has great storytelling, but the word balloons led me astray. And that's the first time I've ever had that criticism. Okay, and I feel bad because these are nice people, amateurs, you know, doing something out of, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. And here we have, you know, so she's going in and she's hacking people, and Mesmera is trying to get people's secret identities. And here this is her target. She's getting this woman. She finds out she's a healthcare worker. She goes in as a fake patient. Again, the storytelling is telling me. So she tells her to go. She goes in here, get a little sexy pose, and comes out, mesmerizes her, and basically fouls up. She's one of the members of the league, the Heroine League, and she's gonna mess up Monitor Duty. Monitor Duty, such a superhero trope, and she has the power to create these like dark constructs, and she's just so proud of herself. And here she goes back, and She's doing what the subliminal subconscious implant told her to do: pass out and then release her nightmares. So what's going on? In the Great Hall of Cathedral of Learning. I don't know if this is a real place. I don't know if these are real Pittsburgh landmarks. I'm embarrassed to say I've never been to Pittsburgh. I've driven through it because that used to be one of my pastimes, was just driving across the country. Back when I had summers off, I used to be a school teacher, and I used to drive across the country during the summer and just visit places. But I never visited Pittsburgh, so I don't know if there's a real place. But anyway, these constructs are just terrorizing people, So that's the evil plot of Mesmer. I guess she's discrediting the superhero team, because that's what villains do. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a very good villainous plot. So here, this is the woman who got hacked. She's one of the what's Sabrina, I think her name was, and she wakes up from the mesmerism and instantly boop, 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 figures out the plot and starts alerting the rest of the people. Mesmer picked the wrong person to mess with, because she could fix this. So here we go. And again, I hate to harp on the word balloons, but you read this over here, then you go to this word balloon, you go to this word balloon, and then this is still in. So I don't know. I got a little messed up when reading. And here we have, again, the storytelling is fine. I could just look and glance and figure out what's going on. But when I follow the word balloons, I kind of get a little led astray, like signs, posts pointing in the wrong direction. But the storytelling is fine. The art, it's not top quality Marvel superhero art, but this is fine for what it is. I could tell who the characters are. The coloring is bright 4-color superhero coloring. I could distinguish everything. The coloring's not leading me astray. I know who the characters are. This person has a not basic, but a competent grasp of vanishing points and lines and everything like that. I got no problems with the art. But this, just all the word balloons that when I read them. So look at this. So I start over here and I read, and I come over here. Now, do I go here? I know that I'm supposed to go like this, but this, if you take away all the word balloons, I could follow the story. But if I read, I go here, then it just tells me to go over here, then I go over here, then over here, and then I go here. Is that? I don't know. I'm a little confused by the placement of the word balloons, and I think that's something that the artist and the letterer, the word balloon guys, they need to get a little more communication, and that's like Jack Kirby was aware when he was drawing a panel of where the lettering was going to be placed, and I think that's something that needs a little bit more communication on that. So here's the second story. So she's a little proud of herself. She knew that the superheroes were going to eventually defeat her scheme, but the trust in the superheroines, has been eroded a little bit. So brick by brick, and she also hacked stuff and got some money. See, here's I forget her name, Ex Machina. She's building a mech, and okay, this page, the word balloons, I don't know which order. Now, typically you read a comic book like this. Okay, but I read this. Do I go to here next? Do I go to here next? But then we got this, which tells me to go down here. So I read this page a couple of times, and I didn't, I had to, if you took away the word balloons, I would go like this. Okay, but with the word balloons, I don't know which order to read this in, and I had to read this page a couple of times to figure out the logical sequence of the story. And I feel really bad saying that, because these people were really nice sending me stuff. They were the very first people to ever send me stuff, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Okay, so this page is fine. I was able to follow everything, but again, I read this, it comes down to here, and then what? I jump back into this panel, and then what? Then from here, I already read this. So I go here, or am I supposed to read this, then go to here? The word balloon. I'm sorry. That's really my only criticism. Everything else is fine. Everything else is fine. I like that. That's a cool drawing. You know, the stories are fun. I like the costumes. The costumes are, these are superhero costumes. You know, that's a little, you'd think she was a member of the X-Men, but the X-Men wear superhero costumes. You know, the monster, giant monster, who doesn't like giant monsters? Again, the storytelling is fine. I could read and I could follow the story. You know, who, as I knock at stuff, who doesn't like a giant mech beating up a kaiju monster? You know, good plot, good superheroics. You know, and here's Artica strutting about. You know, look at the body language. You know that character's personality just from that. And then she's controlling her robot, fighting stuff, and poor Godzilla. I always feel bad for the kaiju, even when they're destroying Tokyo. I always feel bad for them. And look. I don't know if the actors or actresses rather in real life, if she's really that much taller than her, but that, you know. But just look, she's coming across all haughty. She's coming across a little bit more like, you know, like, oh my God, you're Artica. You know, that's cool. Look at the face. The blue lips is a nice touch. And they're flirting, and she accepts the flirt, but says, you know, I'm not interested. And then they go away, you know. And then here we have, this is Serpenta, and she's talking to like a crooked cop, and they're saying like, everything's going according to plan. We're eroding the faith of the public in the superhero women, and soon I could get back to the rackets and stuff like that. You know, so there you go. Perfectly good supervillain storylines. You know, the plot makes sense. The powers seem to work with the names. That's one thing that drives me crazy when like Cable from the X-Men. I hate that character. What does his name have to do with his powers? You know, even Deadpool. I couldn't stand Deadpool. What does Deadpool's name have to do with his powers? You know, it's like, I'm Spider-Man and I shoot fire. But all of these characters, their names and their powers and their costumes all work together. And here we have Heroineburgh. So here's a group photo of all the cast. It says here that there's people missing, but these are the women that do it. And one thing I do like, and again, I didn't do a deep dive into this, is it's just women. You know, they got superhero costumes, but they're not selling OnlyFans and being like porn or anything like that. They just look like they're people having fun, acting, you know, making web episodes. And you know, I was in a couple of fan films with a buddy of mine. He teaches film, and he pulls me over every once in a while, and I'm in his fan film. One of them was like a superhero movie. So I understand it's kind of fun. You know, and I like this. And here they are, these people. They obviously have a fan following in Pittsburgh and elsewhere, and they do all this stuff. And you know, and I definitely looked to make sure that it wasn't porn. You know, I don't want to do that stuff on this channel. So I didn't do a deep dive, but it looks like what I'm talking about. And here's the other issue. Here's number 2. I do not know how many there are. Again, I got these for free from Heroineburgh, the person who I corresponded with. I don't know the name. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. I don't know anything. They stayed in character as Heroineburgh. So there you go. They sent me these. I got them yesterday, and today I'm doing my Christmas video for this. So overall, it's fun. What else do you want me to say? They're a fun group of people who obviously like comic books. They obviously like superheroes, and they obviously like what they're doing. They seem to put a lot of effort. You know, they make movies. They have a web channel. This has been going on for years. So, you know, they're not cosplayers. They're LARPing. There's a difference. I still don't like cosplay, but LARPing is kind of cool. You know, I've never done LARPing, but that's what they're doing. You know, I don't know what they call it, but in my mind, they're LARPing, and they're acting, and they have a fun hobby. You know, it's not just girls in scantily clad costumes posing for OnlyFans money. You know, for attention. That stuff. Like I said, don't show me your cleavage. You want to impress me? Show me a comic book collection. And these people, they seem to have the comic book chops. So there you go. They get, you know, a lot of fun. And my biggest criticism was the placement of the word balloons, but there you go. I feel bad saying that, but I don't want to not tell the truth. So I'm telling the truth. So thank you, Heroineburgh, for sending me these 2 comics. Thank you for the thumb drive of stuff. This is a lot of stuff. I got to go through it, and Merry Christmas. Thanks a lot, everybody. Merry Christmas to everybody. And thank you for taking time out of your busy day to watch my channel. All right, this was fun. This was a lot of fun. Thank you. Bye-bye.